Welcome back to Talk Miley to Me. My name is Molly. Unfortunately, Becky's not on this episode today. This will be a solo episode from me. So we're going to be talking about just a few different things revolving around Miley Cyrus. But before we dive into the episode, I did record this episode a couple days ago. I'm hopping on to do this little intro today on Wednesday, November 20th, the day before this comes out, because we found out today that Miley is going to be releasing a new visual concept album in 2025. I could scream, but I don't want to hurt your ears. We found out about this today, this morning, and I just can't believe I'm saying that out loud, that we are getting a Miley Cyrus album in 2025, let alone a visual album. With that being said, this is a solo episode today, but next week, Becky and I are going to be back again with another episode next week, talking all about her Harper's Bazaar interview and just everything we found out about the new album and her plans and her current state of mind. There's a lot to talk about with that, so stay tuned for next week's episode because we're going to be talking all about Miley's new music coming in 2025 and everything about the Harper's Bazaar interview. Let's go ahead and dive into the episode. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to Talk Miley to Me. I'm Molly, and Becky's not here today, unfortunately. She is really busy with work right now. Usually around this time of year, she ramps up her work a lot. She was literally busy every single night this week, so there was no way for us to work around recording. So with that being said, we are doing a solo episode today, but we have so much to talk about. It definitely is a different dynamic doing the solo episodes, I will say. I do a lot of solo stuff on my personal YouTube channel. She is Molly. So I'm not used to talking to a camera by myself, but it definitely is a different dynamic, especially when on the podcast, I'm used to talking to Becky all the time. Anyway, we have so much to talk about today. Our last episode, go watch it if you haven't. It was one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. It was a 2006 deep dive episode. And basically, we went from January to December and talked about everything Miley did during the year of 2006. And it was so much fun. I had the best time, even just researching for the episode and putting everything together. So go check it out if you haven't yet. It's one of my favorites. I really think if you haven't watched it or listened to it, you will really enjoy it, especially if you love Miley Cyrus like me. And I assume if you're listening to this podcast that you do. So go check it out. We're going to talk about Beautiful That Way, of course. We're going to talk about Two Most Wanted. We got some news around that. We're going to talk about the Juice wrld Miley Cyrus collab that has been on the streets. And then we got to talk about Miley's birthday coming up, and we have a few little housekeeping things here and there. And then I also asked you guys what you wanted me to talk about on today's episode, so we're going to touch on a few of those. And yeah, so before we dive into this episode, I just want to remind you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, please, please, please subscribe. Like the video, leave me a comment on what you think about this episode. I really do enjoy discussing with you guys, what you think of some of the topics we talk about. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music and you're not already following the podcast, you should do that. This is some extra work, but if you could, please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple. It really does help the podcast out a lot. Thank you in advance if you do any of those things. And if you would like to be on an upcoming episode, you can always leave us a voice message. I have the link linked in our episode description down below. Or if you don't feel comfortable speaking, you can write us at our Gmail. It's talkmileytomepodcast at gmail.com. And we will read your submissions. First of all, Two Most Wanted, most beautiful song. And did I know that it was going to be nominated for a Grammy? Of course I did. Of course I did. Miley is now a new Grammy darling with last year getting flowers. The Grammys are now with her a little bit. And then, Beyonce, she's had her faults with the Grammys, but she's the most nominated artist of all time, I'm pretty sure. So they got nominated for Two Most Wanted for the 2025 Grammys for Best Country Duo Performance. I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought it was, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought it was gonna be nominated for Pop Duo. Rest in peace to 1,000 Miles, not winning last year. That was a big L. But I think this has a better chance of winning with it being in this category. It is up against Brothers Osborne, Break Mine, Dan and Shay, Bigger Houses, Kelsey Ballerini, and Noah Kahan's Cowboys Cry 2, and the biggest like contender I think for this category is Post Malone and Morgan Wallen's I Had Some Help. I hate to say it, and I know y'all don't want to hear that, but I unfortunately have a strong feeling that Post Malone and Morgan Wallen is going to give Bey and MC a run for their money for this Grammy, because I Had Some Help was freaking everywhere. You can't tell me it wasn't. It was blowing up the charts. Like, they did so many performances. They did a music video. And I just feel like if Beyonce did a little bit more promo for, well, her album in general, she really didn't do that much promo for Cowboy Carter. I feel like it got buried with all the other pop girlies releasing. Like, she didn't really do that much with it. It could have been like a concept album. That would have been really cool. We could have gotten a Two Most Wanted music video. Don't know why that didn't happen. That definitely should have happened. But we didn't get that. So that's what worries me about this not winning. Like, it's a beautiful song, and I think just from a songwriting perspective, it should win this. But I'm just a little worried, guys. So I think they're going to give them a run for their money. I also think Kelsey Ballerini and Noah Kahan's Cowboys Cry 2, that's a beautiful song also. And I feel like the Grammys really love Kelsey and Noah. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. But that also begs the question, do we think that Miley is going to be at the 2025 Grammys? That would be cool, but I don't know. She's so unpredictable. You know what I mean? We just really don't know. While we're on the same note of Two Most Wanted, it is confirmed that Beyonce will be performing at the NFL Christmas Day Game Day performance, which will be live on Netflix. And she is expected to bring along some special guests who are featured on Cowboy Carter. Gasp. Could it be MC? I don't know. People are really excited about this. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I feel like I'm already being a Debbie Downer this episode. I really need to I need to get my spirits high up for Miss MC. But like, there were so many collaborators on Cowboy Carter. I'm just a little worried that like it might not be Miley. How iconic, and like I feel like if it was Miley and Beyonce singing live together, like the internet would crash. So I don't know. But I'm manifesting it, guys. Let's all manifest it. I really think that would be a little too iconic. Okay, now we have to talk about Beautiful That Way. We've like touched about this in recent episodes. We really didn't talk about the fact that Miley was seen on a video shoot, I think it was like Paramount Studios or something, recording what it seemed to be was like a music video for Beautiful That Way. And this was like a month or so back. And I don't think Miley's team wanted those photos to leak, which is why we really didn't talk about it back then. But I'm not going to talk about it too much. But you could just tell it was for Beautiful That Way because the outfit she was wearing looked like the outfit that Pamela Anderson wears in the movie. We just got our first official teaser of the song because the first like promo clip for the movie, The Last Showgirl, came out. And guys, the song is so beautiful, and it's kind of what I was expecting.
Hold your cards close.
Feeling seen, feeling beautiful. That is powerful. And I can't imagine my life without it. Doing a job that you don't really love, that's hard.
There were some fans that were a little like bored of the song already, even though it was just a teaser that came out that was for a trailer. But like, I think we have to realize that this is for a movie. This was written specifically for a movie. Miley's in her Droplet era. She's in her Droplet era again. She's been through this era before. She really has. But 2024, after the success of Flowers, she's just in her Droplet era. And Beautiful That Way is a part of that. And I don't think, just like with Doctor, we don't need to like stress too much about the droplets. Like, yeah, it would be great to have Beautiful That Way really skyrocket on the charts when it comes out, which it's already been predicted that's going to win like an Oscar, and it's already nominated for all these awards. So I think it is going to do well, but I wouldn't stress too much as a Miley fan, like how some of these droplets sound, because like Two Most Wanted, that was collaboration with Beyonce. Like, yeah, Miley put a lot of her like heart and soul into it. She did write that song, but it's a droplet. It's a droplet. It's not like a body of work that she is pushing out by herself. Setting that aside though, it is such a beautiful song. Like, and I heard the clip and it gave me chills. It gave me chills. And so the movie is supposed to come out in theaters December 13th. And so ideally we would think we would get the song around then too. So I'm really excited to have that on streaming. It'll be so nice to have another Miley song under our belt and to listen to, and especially one that's new because she's been so quiet this year. So I'm really excited for Beautiful That Way to come out. On that same topic, I was watching the teaser clip online, and Pamela Anderson is like such a god. Like, I just love her. I love her era she's in. She's really been through it when you think about it. Like, if you do a deep dive on Pamela Anderson, she's been through it. And right now I just feel like she's really living her most like authentic, raw life. And I do love that Miley is a part of this project because Tish Cyrus is like confirmed a huge Pamela Anderson fan. Like, that's like her. Pamela Anderson is like her, like, you know how Miley is like to us? That's Pamela Anderson to Tish Cyrus. She has talked about it on Sorry We're Cyrus, used to be Sorry We're Stoned. She has talked about it many times before, how big of a fan she is of Pamela Anderson. So I just know Tish Cyrus is like, hell yeah, Miley. That is so cool. You get to do a song for Pamela Anderson's movie. That is too iconic. But anyway, I was watching the teaser and Billy Ray commented on the teaser clip, which had me shook. And he just said like amazing and put like an emoji with it. I saw somebody on Twitter was like, they posted the screenshot and they were like, breaking news, Billy Ray Cyrus remembers he has a daughter. Like, the stands are so funny. Just overall really excited. Let me know what y'all think of the clip. I've heard mostly good from the fan base on Beautiful That Way, but I've also seen some people not really digging it. So, I mean, it's not going to be bangers. It's not going to be flowers. It's a ballad for The Last Showgirl, which looks like a really deep movie. So before we get into big news with another collab, we need to talk about the fact that, did y'all know that, guys, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Did you guys know that Dolby Atmos, like, did you guys know that was a thing? Because I did not know that that was a type of like sound you could listen to. So on Apple Music, Hannah Montana season 1 soundtrack and the Hannah Montana the movie soundtrack was just released for Dolby Atmos, and I'm probably not saying that right, so don't make fun of me, but it sounds insane. Like, I am a Spotify girly. I'm very Spotify loyal, but Spotify doesn't have this like crazy version of these songs. I don't even know how to explain it, but basically I got a 3-month trial for Apple Music just to like go listen to these versions of these songs. Special shout out to If We Were a Movie. If you listen to If We Were a Movie on Apple Music with Dolby Atmos, whatever, it sounds insane. It sounds like she's actually in the room with you. Like, 13-year-old Miley Cyrus playing as Hannah Montana is like singing to you. Like, put on some headphones, you know, have a little herbal refreshments if you're into that, because that's what I did. And I put on some headphones, had a little herbal refreshment, and I was so freaking shook. So just shout out to Apple Music, because Spotify has not caught on to that yet, and I'm a little upset about it, but I've put way too much work into my playlist on Spotify to ever switch to Apple Music. So fingers crossed that Spotify steps it up and gets Dolby Atmos, whatever. It needs like those versions, because it is like the future of music. Juice World and Miley Cyrus has in the past had a song leak. And I feel like this happened, was it before Juice World passed away? Or maybe it was right after, I can't remember exactly. But they had a song leak that was called like 1,000 times. And like I've said on this podcast before, I don't really go out of my way to listen to leaks just because I kind of feel icky. Not saying like you shouldn't do it. I just personally don't. But I think around this time I was kind of into my like, if I see a leak on the timeline, I'm listening to it. And so I did listen to this leak and it was so freaking good. I've spent the last, what has it been, like 4 years now being like, when is the Juice World Miley collab going to come out? I need it. And never came out, right? Well, his team is releasing a new album of his. And I'm guessing it's like songs that he had worked on that never got released. And the newest album is called The Party Never Ends. And at a listening party a few days ago, there's like a clip that surfaced of someone recording what was what was playing. And it is supposedly a Miley Cyrus and Juice World collab. Not 100% confirmed yet, but like, I don't know, guys. What do you say? Like 75% confirmed. And a lot of fans are like, that does not sound like Miley. It does. If I find the clip, like if it's still up, I will put it in this episode so you can hear it. But it's not 1,000 times. It's a never before heard collab, like a whole different song with Juice WRLD and Miley. And so it's supposedly supposed to come out November 27th, if it is Miley. Somebody was like, that's Panic at the Disco. And I was like, I could see why they would think that, like listening to the clip, but it does kind of sound like Miley to me. So we'll just have to see. Very exciting. I mean, she is, like I said, Droplet era Miley Cyrus is on one. Like 2024 is for Droplet Miley. Droplet Cyrus. We'll have to stay tuned for that. Maybe like by next episode we're talking about it. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out some more information. Max's birth. I'm recording this on November 18th. Miley's birthday is the end of this week. She's going to be turning 32. Isn't that insane to think about? Like that we have been fans of hers for like 20 years. Isn't that insane? Max's birthday was like a few days ago. And I guess I never realized before how close their birthdays were. So I thought that was really fun. But Maxx was on a podcast recently and he like showed his lock screen for like a split second. And it was a picture of Miley Cyrus as like a toddler of her and I'll put it in the video if you're watching on YouTube. But I was like, that is so cute. I know so many people hate on Maxx because they blame him for Miley being like so off of social media and out of the public eye, which could be like a reasoning on why she is. Maybe he has like his sense of privacy has influenced her. We know that she has been like heavily influenced by boyfriends in the past. Throwback Thursday to when Miley quit Twitter because Liam told her to. Okay. So that could be a thing. Totally get that. But we also like have to assume too that Miley is much happier and like mentally healthier being away from social media and with her anxiety issues that she had getting off of her last festival tour. I don't know, is it 2 years ago now? Like she needed this break, whether we want to admit it or not. So I'm a fan of Maxx. I mean, I think that like his hair's a little crazy, of course, but I think Miley likes that. And he seems really sweet and very just like a normal dude. And I think that Miley likes that. So I ship it. On the topics of birthdays, Miley's birthday is this Saturday, November 23rd, like I said, and this comes out on Thursday before her birthday. And I just want to let you guys know that Becky and I are going to be going Instagram live on her birthday on Saturday at noon Central Standard Time. We're going to be going Instagram live together, just like celebrating Miley, talking to people, like talking to y'all. It's been so long since we've done a live together, especially on Instagram. Like, I don't even remember the last time we did that. It has to be like a year ago. So we wanted to do something special for her birthday. We figured, let's do an Instagram live. So save the date, save the time. I mean, we'll probably be on there for like an hour, maybe. I don't know how long, but definitely join us. We would love to see you there and hear from y'all and just celebrate MC turning 32. So exciting. So we'll see y'all there. I think what might happen before this episode comes out, possibly, or maybe like right after this episode comes out on Thursday, Wrecking Ball is like so freaking close to hitting 1 billion streams on Spotify. I think last time I checked, she was 500,000 streams away from hitting a billion. And people are saying there might be like a Spotify surprise because this will be her 6th song to hit a billion and like her 3rd this year, I think, or maybe her 4th. She has hit so many songs on Spotify. Like she's entered so many of her own songs into the 1 Billions Club on Spotify this year alone. It's kind of insane. So, and they're all from different eras, which is really cool. If you would have told me that Angels Like You would have beat Wrecking Ball to hit 1 billion 2 years ago, like I would have been like, no, Wrecking Ball is the bigger song. But isn't it crazy how much Angels Like You blew up like way after it was pushed out? Because of TikTok, right? Just crazy to think about. And it definitely deserves. I personally like Angels Like You more than Wrecking Ball, but Wrecking Ball was just such a big song like when it came out. So I asked y'all on Instagram what I should make sure I talk about. I'm going to just read some of that. Somebody wanted me to talk about Beautiful That Way. Check. The collab, I'm assuming, with Juice WRLD. Miley's birthday coming up. And then Max's birthday. Yes. We checkmarked all of those boxes. Somebody wants me to talk about how special Younger Now era was for the fans. That one was her and us, if you know what I'm saying. I think you mean like that era was for her and for us. No, for sure. I would argue that I feel like every era Miley has done post Hannah Montana absolutely is like for her. Like every era she's done after Hannah Montana, 100% her in that moment. I think so, at least. And honestly though, I don't know. I feel like Younger Now era, if you're gonna pick one that seems the least authentic, I don't know, for me maybe it is Younger Now, but who knows? At the time, she was really in her wife era with Liam Hemsworth. Whether she wanted to or not, like your traditional kind of fiance, wife, girlfriend. That was definitely like one of her most feminine eras, in my opinion. But I mean, Younger Now gets such a bad rap. Does it not? Like, but it really is like a beautiful, like it has some beautiful songs on it. I just think in the grand scheme of like her whole discography, I don't visit it all the time, but it was special because she was like reclaiming her youth with Younger Now. The youth that she lost during all those years on Disney Channel, being like hardworking and just going from one event to the next. I feel like Younger Now era was for her to reclaim that youth and really just feel a little bit more like spirited, like free-spirited. I think of the Malibu music video and how just like free-spirited she looked and how you could tell she felt during that music video. So I think that Younger Now, even though it gets a bad rap, was a special time. And even though in her discography it does get lost a lot, it was a special time for her because it was post-bangers, post-Dead Pets. It was kind of like a reset in my eyes for her. Like, she kind of had some wild eras, and that was a time for her to just kind of like chill. But also still put out good music and do promo. So, yeah. Somebody said MC and her Dead Pets is so underrated, and we need physical release on vinyl. Yes, we do need physical release on vinyl. We do. Like, that is the only album of hers I do not have on vinyl, and that's Criminal. I know her 10-year anniversary of that album will be coming out next year. We've talked about it a little bit before, but how iconic would it be to be like 10-year anniversary vinyl? But it's just so, I don't know if she would do that because it was released for free. But it is on Spotify now, so it does get some revenue from the streams. I don't know. I think we do need MC and her Dead Pets on vinyl for sure. I think in the fan base, it is not underrated. Like, if you're a true Miley fan, you know it's that girl. You know, MC and Her Dead Pets is that girl. But if you're the GP, it is so underrated. It's so underrated. I totally agree with that statement. Somebody wants me to talk about her style evolution throughout her eras. Look, that is a whole episode. Like, that's a whole episode that Becky and I really need to do together. And I wouldn't do that by myself. I think I would get her on. We actually thought about getting a special guest on for that. We have like an idea for that one. So that is to be coming probably in 2025. But on that topic of just like looking at the future for our podcast, I really have like such big plans and ideas to like grow the podcast even more than what it is now. Content creation and Miley Cyrus is like two dreams come true. So I have some big plans for the podcast and really excited for y'all to hear about them in 2025. We will be doing like a hiatus around the holidays in December, like probably like mid-December into like mid-January. But with that being said, we do plan on doing a surprise giveaway during that time on our socials. So stay tuned for that and make sure to follow us on like Instagram and Twitter and all that to stay up to date. Somebody wants me to talk about the Miley, Selena, Nick Jonas drama. And I think that comment comes from our 2006 episode. We talked a little bit about Miley and Nick Jonas meeting because they did that in 2006. That is like such a good deep dive episode idea. I don't think I could talk about it by myself here right now, but noted. I think I would love to do like a deep dive on that like drama because it was like, if you know, you know. If you were there in that Disney Channel era, you knew the drama. You knew what was going on. At least I did. So I have a lot of useless information about that up here that I would love to make an episode about. So before we sign off today, I do want to talk about the fact that we are now going to be doing Spotify polls. So if you listen to us on Spotify, check our episode today and every episode moving forward, because every episode I'm going to put up a poll, and then the next time the episode comes out, I'm going to talk about the poll a little bit. The last episode was our 2006 deep dive, and I asked the Spotify audience, which was your favorite 2006 monumental Miley moment? The options were her buying a $1,500 Gucci bag as one of her first purchases, meeting Nick Jonas, clocking Billy Ray during award shows, writing songs at dinner casually, the Hannah Montana soundtrack, and then also the Cheetah Girls tour. And the winner was the Hannah Montana soundtrack, as it should be. And then a second was meeting Nick Jonas, a little too iconic. And then tied for third is the $1,500 Gucci bag and casually writing songs at dinner with Emily Osment and Mitchell Musso. So thank you if you participated in that. And if you want to be a part of the next poll, check out the episode in the Spotify. Like, I think if you're on Spotify, just scroll down. It'll be like below the episode. But make sure you participate, and we'll talk about the results next episode. There's so many little things happening right now. Like, Miley really is in her Droplet era. I'm just really excited for Beautiful That Way because we know that's coming. And I'm also excited for the possible Juice WRLD collaboration. That'll be really cool. If you're watching on YouTube and you've seen my dog walking around in the background, he is currently on doggy Xanax, which I didn't even know you could do that. He has like really bad hip dysplasia. He's an old man. He has really bad separation anxiety. So we're trying to just like make things a little easier for him. And I don't know if the Xanax is doing him good or bad. He's just kind of like delulu all the time. Do you know what I mean? He's just a little like clueless, walking around, a little restless. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube and you've seen this dog like standing in the corner and walking around, he's fine. He's been doing that recently. So anyway, Well, thank you guys for listening. And I'm sorry that Becky's not here. Like I said, she's so busy with work. But regardless, we will always have an episode coming out on time. That is a promise that you can trust me on. And like I said, we're going to be going Instagram Live. Becky and I are. And you will definitely want to be there. I think it'll be so much fun. We really look forward to like talking to you guys, and we're just really grateful for anyone that tunes into any of our episodes. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into the episodes, and the fact that it resonates with people really means a lot to us. Like I don't know how to even put words into it. It means a lot, and it's kind of been a long time coming, but we look forward to continuing this podcast, continuing to grow. I'm just really excited for the future. I have tons of ideas. We're going to be doing deep dives, and I have ideas for special guests, like very exciting. So I just want to thank you guys again for tuning in and listening to the pod. Maybe by next time we record, we'll have some more Miley news about these droplets. We're really excited for that. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. We will talk Miley to y'all soon. Peace out. Bye.